Okay. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining for day 2 workshop on scientific communication for researchers. So this is second day. Yesterday, to summarize, we had what is the anatomy of the manuscript, what are the contents of manuscript, what are the many critical things which we have to submit to the journal, and how to write a covering letter, rebuttal, and so on and so forth. So this was very interesting talk yesterday we had, and today we have another interesting talk about how to publish, where to publish, and what are the different avenues you can search for very good journal for you to publish. So thank you all for joining today. And there is one, I hope you can see my screen. There is one QR code, which you can see on the screen. So you can scan and go to that, or click on the link which is available in the Teams chat box, or you can go to wooclap.com and give the event code as BMS30 May, so that you can access for today's poll. Please go, and we will start with the polls. I have 5 questions right now using this platform. I already see there are 170 of you have already joined, which is really good. And rest of you are joining one by one. So the plan for today is I'll show some 5 polls so that speakers for today will understand what is the requirement you're looking at. And on the second, after that, we'll have a speaker session. Dr. Sainath is already here. I'll introduce him and then we can start the session. And post that, at the end of it, we want to understand if you have really understood, we'll have some kind of quiz at the end of it, around 5 questions. So with this, let's start. I want to show the if you haven't clicked on the link or you haven't participated, please go to this QR code, scan, and then participate, or click on the link, or use the steps which is displayed on the screen. Okay, let's go to the first question. Please see your devices where you have participated, where you have opened this. Your first question is, how many papers have you published till now in your career? Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it more than 2 to 5, or more than 5, or none? So you have to just click on the answer and also submit the button. Without submission, you can't do it. I am also parallelly taking the polls. I see 50 of you have done. Let's see how you are answering. You can see the screen, how it is coming. We can see that almost 36 of you are published more than 5 journals, which is good. 49%. 32 of you are published more than 32% of them, around 2 to 5. Only 1 journal, 12 of them. You haven't published at all. It's almost 8 of them, 10%. So I can see only 88 of you, 89 of you have answered. Please go ahead. We have 200 participants who have joined this link. Please go ahead and answer the polls. If all of you will answer, we'll get to know more about your potential to attend this workshop. What is that you're looking at in this workshop? Okay. So please go ahead. I'll give you maybe around 20 more seconds to answer this poll, and then I'll go to the second question, which will pop on your screen. So I'll give 10 more seconds. Please go ahead and answer them. Okay, so 100 of you have answered, 50% results. So let's go to the next question. So please see your screens wherever you're answering. What is the next question I have is, do you know the meaning of predatory journals? Do you know the meaning of predatory journals? No is missing, sorry for that. But the question is, do you know the meaning of predatory journals? You have to say yes or no and click on submit. Once you have already, okay. Polls are almost 50-50. 60% of you know what is predatory journals. Around 50% are not sure. Okay, it started raining. So please see 97 of you have answered. Everybody please answer. Please click on yes or no and then submit button. Without that, we won't be able to see what is the answer you're planning to give. Okay, almost 104 of you, 105 of you have submitted. Let's go to the next question. The next question on your screens is, do you know the meaning of quartile rankings of the journal? Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Have you heard of it? Do you know about it? So you have to press either yes or no. If you don't know, no. If you know, yes, yes. So all these things will give us planning for this today's workshop, what we should concentrate more and what most of you already know. So almost 100 of you have answered. Rest of you, please do answer as soon as possible. Okay, so now you are very comfortable with the platform. That's what I get to know. All of you are answering super fast. So the last but one question is the fourth question on your screen. What is the fourth question on the screen? How many publishers exist as per your knowledge? How many do you think? Is it 100? Is it 1,000? Is it more than 1,000? Less than 1,000? Or you don't know? So how many publishers, like for example, IEEE is a publisher, Relay is a publisher, Taylor Francis is a publisher. How many such kind of publishers do Web of Science or such similar platforms do recognize? So most of you don't know, but many of you have told that it's more than 1,000, which is good. Okay, so let's understand whenever we have this session today, we'll understand whether our answers are correct or not, but this is the answers what audience poll or what you guys are giving. Okay, 110, 50% of you have given the answer. Let's go to the next poll, last poll before we start the session. Do you use any reference manager? For example, it can be Mendeley, it can be Paperpile, it can be EndNote or anything of that kind. Let me also answer, I do use. So do you guys use any of such kind of reference managers? Okay, great. So we got to know 50-50, answer is almost 50-50. So few of you use, few of you don't use. So good to know. So we will continue the polls. Keep your other, wherever website you're open this, you can keep it aside and you can start resume your session by seeing the Teams link, which we have shared. So I'll stop sharing. I'll request Sainath to start sharing his screen. Meanwhile, I'll introduce who Sainath is. So Dr. Sainath is again one more our faculty who is currently working as assistant professor in the Department of Chemical Engineering from 2010, and he received a Bachelor's of Engineering degree with university rank from BMS College of Engineering in Chemical Engineering, and he obtained his Masters of Technology from IIT Guwahati and PhD from IIT Bombay in 2013 and 2021 respectively. He has more than 3 years of industrial experience. His research interest includes application of nanomaterials for water and gas separation, environment engineering, membrane separation, and engineering education research. So this is Sainath. Sainath, welcome, and thank you for agreeing to give this talk and give us some insight about where to publish. That's very important. All of us are excited for your talk. Sainath, over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Abhishek, for crisp introduction of mine. So let's begin today's session. So good evening, everyone. This is Sainath, as he already given introduction about me. So today, let us see how to publish, where to publish exactly. So once we write the manuscript, the next question lingers is where to publish, how to identify journals that are good. And what are these called predatory journals? The term predatory is sometimes people know it, sometimes don't know. Let us see what it is. So my outline of presentation is something like this. First, I will talk about what is predatory journal, then where to publish, COP and COI, SCI and Scopus Index journals, journal finder, which is very important, and at the end, reference managers. And what is a journal? Is my slide visible at the top, or is there any issue, Abhishek?
No, everything is visible properly.
What is the journal is visible?
Yeah. What is journal is visible and wonderful animation, Sainath. It's really nice.
Okay, fine. So most of us first understand what a journal is. So journal is generally it's a scholarly publication that contains articles written by researchers, professors, or other experts. So remember, this is after doing a lot of research, people publish. So that is called where we publish. That is called a journal. And it focuses a specific discipline or a field of study, say chemical engineering, or biotechnology, or medical electronics, or mechanical engineering, or civil engineering. In that one particular specific area, it will concentrate, if not the entire gamut of it. And it is generally intended for a academic or technical audience. It is never ever for a general public. Okay. So just to give an example, so this is a screenshot of one of my journal papers, which is published in this journal. So when you see elsewhere journals, So these are the different things you will know it. This is the Journal of Membrane Science, which is the name of the journal. Elsevier is a publisher. And at the top, you find these details. Journal of Membrane Science 614-2020-118506. So this is the journal details. So my paper has been given this number. So this is the number given to my paper. And next is the title of the paper. And this is the author details. So where we are from, which department we are from, which college we are from, which country we are from, all those details will be given. And at the bottom, we have something called DOI, Digital Object Identifier, which is unique for each and every paper. Okay. And at the bottom, we have one more information called article history. This must be given in order to say that journal is a good journal. So because if you see some fake journals, which I'm going to talk about a little later, they will not give this kind of details. Means from these details, you'll get to know whether it is a good journal or bad journal, nothing but a fake journal. Okay, so what are the characteristics of good journals or journal articles? Generally, journal articles are peer reviewed. What do you mean by peer reviewed? Once you send the article to a journal, it will be sent to the peers, means who are working in a similar area, and they will do quality check. Whether this paper is really good, is it adding any knowledge to the existing knowledge? And they have original research and it focuses on current developments. And generally they cite other works and have bibliographies. So if you're doing something, we should always, or we will always cite someone else's work. So because we are not starting something new, it is always the delta X what we do. Always something that delta X we do it. So as a result, we have to cite someone's work which is almost similar to our work, or where we have taken some idea or where we taken some cues from. And the journals could be either print or online or both the formats. Most of the journals are generally both the formats. And these journals are published on a regular basis, sometimes monthly, quarterly. There are some journals which publishes even yearly. And they're generally sequentially mannered. I mean, sequentially numbered, and each copy has an issue. Each copy has an issue. A set of issues makes a volume. Usually each year is a separate volume. So if I take some journal volume, say 34,
Okay, looks like Sainath has left the meeting. There is a heavy rain which is coming that has made him to. So I'll just check with him. Give me like a couple of minutes.
hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Sainath, go ahead.
So is my screen shared? It is visible, right?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, so there's a power cut here apparently.
Yeah, I know it's raining
so
everywhere.
Let's come back to my topic, what I was talking. So each copy is called an issue, and a set of issues makes a volume. So usually each year is a separate volume. And we'll come to most important part of our top. What is a predatory journal? So they're also called as fake journals. So they are there for earning money or making money. So there is a definition from Nature website which says that predatory journals and publishers are entities that prioritize self-interest at the expense of scholarship and are characterized by false or misleading information, deviating from best editorial and publication practices, a lack of transparency, and are the use of aggressive and indiscriminate solicitation practices. Okay, sir, this is a definition which I don't understand anything. Okay, let us see what are the characteristics of this predatory journal, or who will publish us in this kind of journal. Generally, inexperienced people or who do not know about the research, or they have been not it has been not told to them by their guides, or if the work is very poor quality. If the work is very poor quality and research is not that much of great, or there is no impact at all. And most of the times, what I've seen is unknowingly people will publish in predatory journals. And there are almost 900 plus publishers have been identified as potentially predatory. And they have collected almost more than $75 million from authors as a fee. So these are kind of fake money for them. I mean, black money for them. So they charge for review or publication. If you want to see the list of predatory journals and publishers, so I'll show you. When you click on this particular list, this will take us to Bell's list, where he has listed the potential publishers as well as potential journals which are predatory in nature, So here, if you see this list, these are the predatory publishers. There are a lot of such publishers, more than 900 plus publishers, and there are so many journals as well. Now, the point is that how do we determine these predatory journal? How do we determine these predatory journal are publishers? That is also one of the points. So let us see, how can we determine it? Number one, there is no address or contact information available. Only email IDs will be available. So when there is an email ID, you cannot make out who is the behind that particular email ID, because anybody can create any email IDs. You know that. And there is no evidence of editorial board. Means we don't know who is going to edit, or who is in the board of editorial board, who is going to take care of, or who is in charge of the papers that are going to be published. And there will be the website will be like overwhelming. You have a lot of images in that, and they will take images from major publishers. And generally, no good journals will have this kind of attribute. And there is no mention of article processing fees or charges. We generally call it as APC or APF. And then you will likely to receive an outrageous bill after the acceptance. So once you send an email, nothing but a paper, what you send to them through an email, after say within 48 hours, you'll get a reply saying that your paper is accepted. Please pay this much amount of money. And remember, there won't be no mention of peer review process at all. Whereas in the standard journals, there will be a process, there will be a steps how the peer review process is considered. And there is no basic submission requirements. You send any filthy material, it will be published within 48 hours. We just you have to pay the money. That's all. And the last point, there won't be any DOI. Even though if it exists, it will not lead to the article. So these are called fake DOIs. Okay. All right. So, sir, is there any other way that I can find out? How to identify fake journals? Okay. So, few more information. So, the credible journals will have something called editorial officer, editor, and there will be a peer review process, reviewers, and revisions will happen. So, if you send a paper to a journal, it won't be accepted, say less than 2 days or 3 days. It takes its own time. The editorial office, once it looks after the grammatical or English issues and whether it is as per the format of the journal, such as figures, tables, and references. And later, after doing all these processes, it goes to the reviewer, and where reviewer will check for its quality. And if there is an addition of knowledge to the existing knowledge, and then based on the analysis, he will send a report to the editor, and editor will compile those reports from different reviewers. Based on the journal, there will be reviewers from 1 to 6, depending on the impact factor. And then you will get a mail whether it's accepted or rejected. Whereas in case of fake journals, there is no such kind of things. You send the paper within 2-3 days, you'll get an email saying that it is accepted. Please pay so much amount of money. Okay, sir, what is the solution? So before submitting your paper, go to this website called Think, Check and Submit. Called Think, Check and Submit. So this is a website where there are certain points are given. So by looking at these points, you can get to know whether this particular journal is good or bad. So you can click on these journals. So what are the qualities it should have? It will ask for list of say points where you need to check. So that's what it says. Think, check, and submit. Think, check, and submit. See, are you submitting your research to a trusted journal? Then these are the questions they ask. And see, these are the things you have to tick or untick. Do you or your colleagues know the journal? And you can see give the option. Can you easily identify and contact the publisher? And once you give all these details, and then when you submit, you'll get to know whether this journal is good or bad. Good or bad. Okay. So it is very good website. Please use this website before submitting your article to any of the journals that you're going to publish for the first time to a new journal, which you're not heard of before. Okay, these are some of the famous publishers. Most of us will know Elsewhere, and this is Springer, ACS, Wiley, BMC, Sage, and there are many other publishers. Okay, other points to remember. There's something called publication standards, wherein timelines, editorial committee, peer review process. When it comes to quality, we have impact factor and Q1 to Q4. These things is what I'm going to talk in the coming slides. And comparison with other journals of the same topics. Diversity means where these editorial members are from. So are they from only India? Are they from only China? Are they from across the world or what? Whether it is international or it is only limited to say within China or within say Pakistan or within say some other country, England or anything similar to that country, and whether it's international and regional audience are diverse. So these are the factors that you should keep it in your mind before publishing a paper in a journal. Okay, we are moving to a new topic called COPE and COI. What do you mean by COPE? So COPE is nothing but a Committee on Publication Ethics. So, sir, what is ethics?
Good. Hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, there is little delay in what you're talking versus what's coming. So let the slide come, then you talk. That's fun. And second is you can switch off your camera so that we'll get enough bandwidth to talk.
My camera is off, I guess.
Okay. Okay, no worries. Go ahead. Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
So we have something called Committee on Publication Ethics. So, okay, what is this all about? We need to know ethics when we do research. What is ethics in research? Say someone has done the work and we simply copy down whatever he has done and we will publish in the name of us. Say this is new work and you'll submit to a journal. And if journal is not of good quality, they might accept without seeing the what you call plagiarism check, without doing the plagiarism check, and it is published. And the original author can file a complaint saying that this work is of mine and someone else has published after my publication. That is number one. And number two, I'll publish one very good article in X journal. I use same data or some of the images which are already published in a journal, and I use same images and write one more paper and publish in another journal. So these are all not correct from ethics point of view. So if it is found, if someone complains, such authors will be banned from publishing in the future for some years, in addition to paying some amount of FT amounts of money. So this will give you, Committee on Publication Ethics will give you set of guidelines. And this is an independent body that gives information ethics and other publication related issues. Like you can complain and appeal and data and reproducibility, ethical oversight, intellectual property, journal management, peer review process. They'll give you certain set of guidelines. Whom do they train? Like people, editors, publishers, universities, research institutes. So this is the work of COPE, Committee on Publication Ethics. And there is one more term, COI. What is that? Conflicts of interest. You must have seen in any good journal, they'll ask you to say declare there is no conflict of interest. What is the meaning of that? So you must have published a work using some particular instrument. Say we use same XRT, FTIR, for our work, for example, for nanometer synthesis and its characterization. And there I'll mention I used so-and-so instrument, which is made from so-and-so company and so-and-so what you call country. So you are not promoting any product or any company product. So that you have to clearly mention under the heading called declaration of competing interest. So most of the journals or all the good journals will ask you to declare there are no competing interest. So journals have different styles. This is Elsewhere journal and this is ACS journal. Here they write it as notes. Here they write it as declaration of competing interest. So this is how this is how the COI must be written. That is the importance of writing COI. Okay. Next, I'll go to the very important topic: where to publish. Where to publish. This is very what I call challenging for the young researchers who have just say written their first paper while they're doing UG or PG or PhD. Okay. So say I'll tell you there is around 5,241 journal publishers. Is it a boon or bane? You can respond to this particular question using these emojis. I want you to respond using emojis. Is it a boon or bane? Having so many publishers. How many publishers? 5241 publishers. You can just react to use emojis. Guys, am I audible? I don't see any response. All right, thank you. Can you please can you please respond through emojis? Is it a boon or bane? Boon means thumbs up. Bane means thumbs down. All right, fine. So I would say it is always a boon. Why? More publishers, more opportunity, more places, more journals to publish our work. So always it is a boon. Remember. Okay. How to find an app journal in a publisher? Step 1, type journal finder in Google. Okay. Then click on the publisher site you are looking for. Step 3, feed or enter relevant data and you will get suitable journal. Okay. So to give you an example like this, you click on the Google journal finder. And once you click on the journal in the Google journal finder, you will get these many options. Okay, sir, why are you getting Elsewhere as the first? Is Elsewhere is it very good? No, nothing like that. I use a lot of Elsewhere journals. That's why I'm getting these options. You might get something else. I don't know. So like these are the top 5 say publishers I got. So I'll click on Elsewhere. Once I click on Elsewhere journals, you have to give these 2 important details like paper title and paper abstract. Once you click on that and click on find journals at the bottom, you will be given list of journals which is suitable to publish your work in that particular journal. So this is the best way to find out a journal where you can publish your work. Okay, I'll repeat, you can use any of these publishers and there will be a similar interface exists for all of those publishers. Okay, now a small questions to you. A couple of questions to you. There is a X journal whose impact factor is 50 and there is a Y journal whose impact factor is 5. And my question is, which journal is good? Is X journal good? Y journal good? Or you just cannot say it? It is incomplete information. You can just respond, say in the chats. Just I want to see. Your answer should be just 50 or 5, which means you say, either X or Y. If you say X, X is good. If you say Y, Y is good. Can't say means you say can't say. I feel only through interaction we can learn more. So just type in something, whatever you feel. You might feel, sir, since X has got 50 impact factor, I'll say X is good. Okay, you say it. I just want to see what is your idea about it. Okay. Okay. Almost I've got mixture of, options. That's very good. The answer is you just cannot say. Okay, why you will learn in couple of minutes. Okay, now same thing, we have X journal which falls in Q4 quartile and Y journal which falls in Q1 quartile. If I asked you a question, which journal is good? Again, same question, but here given information is different. I have given Q1 and Q4. Between these two, which journal is good? Again, you can type in. Okay, people are saying why. People are saying why. Why is good? Okay, okay. Nice to know. Nice to know. Okay, the answer is yes. Why is good? Let us see why this contradictory or some people might have confusion. Why sir did not say impact factor 50 is good? Let's see that. Okay, before that, let us understand what do you mean by Q1 to Q4 journals. So these are called journal impact factor quartiles. So Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. Here top 25% of JF distribution called Q1. Again 52 between 50 and top 25 is called Q2. And middle position Q3 between 75% to top 50 and Q4 which is lowest position bottom 25% of IF distribution. Sir, I'm not clear, sir. With this data, I'm not clear. All right, I'll explain to you more. Here, say maximum impact factor is in that particular category or domain is say 25. And minimum impact factor in that particular category, say it is 0.1. So they will make this normalization and whichever comes top 25 numbers. Say there are 200 journals. So top 25 journals will fall in Q1, next Q2, next Q3, and next Q4. So this is how Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 journals are classified. Remember, this is different for different categories. So just by giving 50 impact factor in that particular area, you cannot say it is the best journal. It is best journal, you cannot say. Only through Q1, Q2, Q3, you'd be able to say, yes, if I say Q1, that is the best journal in that particular area, in that particular domain. Okay, who will give these details, sir? Okay, for Web of Science index journals, Clarivate Analytics will give you, and for Scopus index journals, this SDR will give you the say Q1, Q2, Q3 category. What is this Clarivate Analytics? So it is an independent body which will analyze various journals based on their quality criteria and their impact Based on these two elements, they will categorize the journals. Okay, here just take an example. Here we have plant foods for human nutrition is a journal, and these are the 4 categories. And when you see here in the quartile, this is falling in Q2 quartile, because see here in the rank there are totally 228 journals in this particular category, and same journal falls into chemistry also, but there are only 71 journals. And in the food science and technology, there are 135 journals, whereas in the nutrition and dietetics, it is only 87 journals. So here it falls in Q3 and here it falls in Q2. Remember, impact factor is only one value. Okay, to give you more idea. So in Zoom version, you can see here, this is there are 228, it is Q2 journal. And in nutrition and dietetics, it is 51th rank based on the Q1, Q2, Q3, and it is coming into Q3 quartile. Okay. So some journals, as I told, it can be in different quartiles. So take an example of colloids and surfaces B. It is in Q1 as well as Q2. So here biophysics category, it is in Q1. There are totally 72 journals, and this is in the top 11th position. Whereas in chemistry, physical chemistry, there are 165 Web of Science index journals. This comes in 56th rank, hence it is in Q2. Similarly, this Journal of Water Process and Processing, which is having an impact factor of around 7, and see, this is having an impact factor of 5.5. See, still it is in Q1. So impact factor is not a indication of saying that is the best journal. Quartiles are important. Okay. So as an international researcher, what do I look for when I select a journal? I generally look for internationally recognized journals, and I always want to publish in journals with high rank and high prestige, where many people would read and cite it very quickly, and it will be cited for a long time. And how can I compare the selected journal to a list of journals? And how can I find the related list of journals? So these are the important, say, questions or the points a researcher will keep in his mind or in her mind when publishing. So in order to give a demo, so let's go to Scopus review. Scopus preview. Scopus, as I told you, it is a body which gives, which lists, which indexes journals based on their quality parameters. So here you can search the journals based on title, publisher, ISSN number, subject area. For example, I worked in for my PhD in the membrane related area. So I just type membranes. So it will give you some journal names. So I click on current topics in membranes. And here it tells me what is the what are the other details of this journal. Site score 4.8, highest percentile 40%. See here it is 230th journal out of 386. And how many citations and how many documents, how many people percentage cited, and who is the publisher. So similarly, you can find if your journal, which you already published, say I published in one of the XY journal, I want to find out if that journal is say indexed in Scopus. So you can just type the name of the journal here and you'll get to know if that journal is indexed here. If it is not indexed, you will not get to know. If it is not indexed, that journal won't come here. For example, say I'll write International Journal of Education and Research. See the topic what I entered, there is no such journal. There is no such journal, but it selected something else, International Journal of Arts and Technology, but I entered something else. So when you enter a particular name of the journal, if that does not come here, which means it is not Scopus indexed. As simple as that. Sir, how to go, where to go? Just try. So just type scoopus.com in your Google. You will get this window, and here based on the title, you can enter the title and you will get the whether it is indexed or not. It is as simple as that. That is about Scopus. And we have Web of Science index journals. See, this is what the top most journals in the world. So in order to find that, go to this Web of Science master list of journals, which you can find it easily, which is freely available to everyone. So when you go to Google, just type master list, Web of Science indexed master list, and search. And towards your left side, we have Web of Science coverage. We have something called Web of Science coverage. Here there are 4 categories. One is Science Citation Index expanded. Earlier we had something called Science Citation Index only, means SCI journal. We have no more such thing called SCI journals. We have something called Science Citation Index expanded, means whatever the journals they had indexed earlier, they added few more journals which qualified certain quality parameters. What are those? 2 parameters. Number 1, quality criteria and its impact. So whichever is having impact as well as quality criteria, those journals can be found here. And similarly, we have social sciences citation index and arts and humanities citation index. And something what I want to highlight here is emerging sources citation index. The fourth one, nothing but this one. This group of journals will not have any impact factor because it would have qualified one of these 2 parameters. What is that one of these 2 parameters? It would have qualified only certain quality parameters, what that journal is looking for. If that journal passes this quality checks, then it will be indexed here and it will come under Emerging Sources Citation Index, ESCI. Only after it passes the second criteria, nothing but impact. When these two criteria are satisfied, then the journals which are listed here will go to SCI index journals. So we must publish in SCI index journals. Why we must publish in SCI index journal? See, any country's economy or ultimately economy. To talk anything, it leads to economy. In order to increase and improve the economy, we must say publish in very high impact factor journals or high or good quartile journals, nothing but Q1 journals. So these science and science citation index expanded. If you go to this particular list, there are around 9,503 journals indexed in SCIE. So find out in your related area. Already if you publish some journal, just type it here. If it is coming, just check. I showed you a journal initially, that is Journal of Membrane Science. I will check if it is coming here. So I will know if it is a good journal or not. Yes, it has come, Journal of Membrane Science. It will give you other details. If you click on view profile page, you can see more details about this journal. So which means always aim for high impact factor journals, especially Q1 journals. That will lead to the increase or betterment of our economy. Okay, so similarly, we have quartiles of Scoopus Index journals, which will be given by SJR or SIMAGO. So go to Google and just type SJR. Just go to Google and type SJR or this link, whatever is I'm showing here, and it will lead to this particular website. And here also you can type the either journal name or say ISSN number or publisher name. You will get to know how the journal is, Q1, Q2 or Q3 and what is the other details of that particular journal. So here I'm going to talk about something called Journal of Environmental Chemical Engineering. It's a journal. I'll type it and it will say whether it is indexed or not. Yes, it is indexed. So I'll click on that journal and here I'll get all the information related to that journal. So it is origin countries from UK and chemical engineering journals it will publish, process chemistry. These are the categories. Who is the publisher elsewhere? Here we have something called H index, which will be discussed by my colleague on day after tomorrow. Professor Netra will talk about it. And if you come down at the bottom, you'll see all these details. So these are the similar journals. You can find similar journals. And at the bottom, when you come here, you can see it's a Q1 journal. It's a Q1 journal in SJR, nothing but Scoopus Index Journal. In Scoopus database, this particular journal is Q1. Okay, this is how you have to find out whether your journal already published or you're going to publish, whether it's a good journal or not. Okay, all right. So next, software for writing. So all of us, see, we assume that you know how to write and how to do research. After doing the research, we are here to help you for tools. Before writing, what are tools you can make use of? So there are two things you can make use of, either MS Office or LaTeX. So LaTeX will be where LaTeX will be discussed by my colleague tomorrow. So when it comes to MS Office, it is always easy to navigate, easy to use. A lot of free versions available online, not MS Office in the name of LibreOffice, and it takes less time to expertise. Say, according to me, it is just few weeks. Remember, this is my personal opinion. It might change from person to person. Whereas the LaTeX, it is completely free. There are many versions. But according to me, it takes a lot of time to expertise. I think it is almost few months, I feel. So I would always suggest one to go for MS Office or the office which is related to MS, like LibreOffice, which is similar to MS Office. And I'll give you certain do's and don'ts for effective PPT presentation. So anything you do, it should be effective. Just for the sake of doing, you must not do any time in your future, in your life, I'll tell you. So what are do's or don'ts? So to put in simple text and simple terms, always there should be minimum text and maximum figures. If you put only text, nobody will read. Yeah. After all, you are making opposite person to understand. So always have more figures. So because the pictorial way of understanding or the understanding through pictures is better than reading and understanding. And this is important. Try to have just 5 to 7 points in a slide. 5 to 7 points in a slide and 5 to 7 words in a point. Okay. and make text colorful and colorful figures. No one wants to see your black and white figures. Yeah. Okay. After all, we are you are showing the content to make people to understand. Why don't you make it in colorful way where everybody can understand in a meaningful way, and use animations for effective delivery. If I had showed everything at once and I started explaining, you wouldn't know where to concentrate and where not to concentrate. So always make sure that you will have limited text and let text come one after the another so that people will understand, listen, and get hooked to your work or your content. Okay, having said that, while writing, most of the MTech students, PhD students, or while writing a review paper, will come across one simple problem. That is nothing but references. Sir, my guide told me, see, today I had showed my guide, my paper. It had around 70 references. He is asking me to remove couple of references. If I remove references in between, my numbers will vary. How will I make this problem solved? Yes, there is a solution. That's why we have something called reference managers. Let us see what are reference managers in detail. So they help you for searching papers and storing data, and also for writing. Nothing but it will help you to say give some information where you can where it helps for writing, and also you can cite others' work in your paper. Some of the important features are, so you should be able to import citations from bibliographic databases and websites. Means when you reading a paper, through certain clicks should be able to cite that particular paper. Not simply like you have to type each and every, say, word, letter, Journal of Membrane Science, XYZ author, comma, XYZ author, comma. All those things takes a lot of time. It's a donkey job. Of course, we used to do this in 15 years back when we did our UG. Next, it gathers metadata from PDF files. What do you mean by metadata? Like it may be DOI and journal name, page numbers, issue number, volume number, and part of the abstract and keywords and other details. And it should be able to allow annotation of the citations. Means you can give some comments, and it should allow sharing of the reference manager database. See, I work in my computer and I want to send this data to my colleague's system, or I want to transfer this material to him. So there should be an option for the sharing of references. And at the end, it should produce required formats. See, each journal has got its own styles. Yeah. Each journal has got its own styles of giving references. So in few clicks, it should be able to change the styles of the citations. Styles of the citations. So I showed you there are around 5,000 odd publishers, and there are more than 25,000 or 50,000 journals, and each one of them are at least say around 25,000 to 30,000 reference styles are there. Say you publish to you send a journal to a you will send your work to a journal, and he will reject it, saying some reasons, which was discussed by my colleague yesterday by Professor Profula. And once he rejects, you look for another journal. So there the citation style would be different. So again, you cannot manually do it. I mean, you should not do it. So there are reference managers which will take care of these things. So on few clicks, you can change that. Okay, so I'll just give you the demo of paper pile, which is used for Google Docs, which is used for Google Docs. So just go to Google, I mean your Gmail, or just go to Google Doc directly. Both of them is fine, whichever you are comfortable. So I'll go to Gmail, and from here I'll go to Google Doc. Say I started writing a paper, and I want to give references to this particular text. Guys, is it visible and audible?
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah. So I'll open a blank document for giving you a demo. Say here on my new document. Say I started typing some text I started typing, and I feel like giving a reference here. So how to give it? So for that, so go to something called extension and go to add-ons. Here, click on get add-ons, click on add-ons, and you'll get a pop-up wherein you can type in the name of the add-on that you're looking for. Here we're looking for paper pile. So I'll type here paper pile, which is a easy to use Google Doc reference manager. So it shows already installed. So you can install it. You'll get a button install. So once you install, after a few clicks, it will be installed and it will come under extensions. Here I've got paper pile. So I'll click on manage citations and I'll get a pop-up in my left hand side, I mean to right hand side of the document, wherein it will take a couple of seconds to open the paper pile pop-up. Here you can see this. You can search through authors, keywords, device. What is DOI? DOI stands for Digital Object Identifier, which is a unique number given for each and every article that is published in a journal. So in the fake journal also they'll give DOI, but when you copy paste the DOI to the search bar, that will not lead to the paper. Rather, it will lead to something else, or it will say this DOI does not exist. Okay. Say if I started writing some text. Okay, I'll increase the size so that you can see. I started writing some text. So I taken this particular data or idea from some paper. Say this is related to membranes, for example. I'll type in membranes and I'll click on enter. So I'll show you what I'm doing here. I'll just type membranes and I'll click on enter. I'll click on enter. And say based on the the text you've taken from the paper, select that paper, click on this site. Once you click that site, you will have the text appear here. And at the bottom, you have these different styles. Just now I told there are more than 25-30,000 styles. And based on the journal in which you're publishing, select that particular style. If that style is not listed, go to more styles and select the style. Say I'll select something called nature. Once you select that particular style of reference, I'll click on update. So it will take some time. It will say formatting citations according to nature style, and it comes here. See, in the nature, the references is given like a superscript footnote. Okay. And once this is done, I'll continue writing. So next I'll write some more text. I feel like taking this text from, say, I'll go to Google Scholar. My favorite place for literature survey is always Google Scholar. I'll go to Google Scholar. This is my profile. Again, how to create profile and what are the advantages of creating profile will be explained by my colleague on after tomorrow. So this is the paper I want to cite. I can search this paper through DOI. So where is DOI? DOI is here. So just come here and copy the DOI. Carefully copy it and go to this Word document and type the DOI and click. It will take few seconds to search the database. You can see this in situ growth of zeolite imidazolite frameworks. This is the same paper. So then here at the bottom, you'll get option called cite. Click on cite button. So that will be cited and click on this update and citation. So that can be updated. So this is how you can use the paper pile for your work. See, it got 2. And I feel like adding a reference in between these two. when I add a reference in between these two, here numbers 1, 2. Generally, what we do, this will be sent at the end where we write references. And I feel like adding one reference in between. This is called in-text citation. Whatever I'm doing here, this is called in-text citation. Means this particular idea or information is taken from XYZ paper. XYZ paper. Okay. Here I'll write some more text and I feel like giving one more reference. So what will I do? I'll go to one more paper. I'll go to one more paper. So I'll quickly demonstrate that to you. Say I'll go to this paper. So this time, let me copy paste this particular text in the search bar of paper pile. Search bar of paper pile. Let's see if it is able to find this paper on its own from the tons of material that is available online. From the tons of material that is available online. So you can go down and find out this particular paper. And once you find it, click on site, click on site. So depending upon my internet speed, it will be taken. See here, I've added here. So which is nothing but this should be changed to 2 and this should change to 3. Let's see if it happens automatically. Click on update citations and bibliography. This bottom or this thing is called bibliography. This is called bibliography. This information. See, this became 2, this became 3. So this is how we can effectively use reference managers. Remember, this is a free version. So there is a paid version also where there are a lot other options also available. Okay. All right. So to summarize, I did this. I talked about this information such as what is a journal, what is a predatory journal, how to identify fake or predatory journals, what is scope and COI, what is the importance of that, and where to publish, which is very important, and impact factor are Q1 to Q4 journals. Which one you should keep it in your mind when you publish, and software for writing and reference managers. Okay, so Abhishek, how much time I've got?
Yeah, we can take some questions. What else you have to cover?
Yeah, so I just want to give them a demo of Word. Okay,
Sure.
so generally, there is a problem whenever we start writing. No, there is one problem we encounter. What is that problem? In one place, it will be one text, say it is not Times New Roman. In some other place, it is Calibre. In some other place, it is Arial. So how to avoid that? How to avoid such problems? So I'm on the Word document. I'm in a Word document. OK, can you see this, guys?
Yeah,
So
we can see.
Yeah, here in the home ribbon, in the font category, click on the small arrow it, and that opens up a pop-up. Here, select the default font what you want. Generally, remember, Times New Roman is worldwide accepted. This is the only the one and only say font that people want you to send in the manuscript. And sometimes other people use Arial and Tahoma. So these are the 3 font styles that are used widely. And once you select these details, at the bottom, there's something called set as default. Click on that and it will give one more pop-up. This document only or all documents based on normal templates. Click OK. Means any document open in the future, it will be Times New Roman by default and the font style would be 12. Say OK. And now anything you type, it will be of font 12 and Times New Roman only. Okay. And one more thing, the line spacing issue. We'll have something line spacing issue. By default, it is 1 or 1.15. So we want always it should be 1.5. So click on this particular place and go to line spacing 1.5. Select this 1.5. And again, do same thing, set as default. Click on that. Again, it will give you same pop-up only for this document or for the entire or the new documents that you're going to open up in the future. Say OK. Say OK, select second one, all the documents and say OK. And now anything that you type, it will be of Times New Roman, 12 font size, and the line spacing is 1.5. And even this alignment of the text also can be done. How? Again, go to same paragraph, but this one category, and here select text alignment as justified. Text alignment as justified. We can do these two things at once, and then click on set as default and say OK. Then start typing information. Anything you type, it will be like it will be Times New Roman, and we'll have 1 point line spacing and justified text. See, I just typed. It is everything justified. None of the text is not justified or left aligned or right aligned, and all the line spacing is 1.5. All the line spacing is 1.5. You can see it from here. That is what is my default setting. That is what is my default setting. So you can do wonders. I'll tell you, you can do wonders using this particular word by knowing certain tricks. Many of us know, just open the Word document and start typing, and just look for what to say. I want to change the I want to change the font style, come here and change it. Font size, come here and change it, and say paragraph in this line spacing and alignment. And there are many other things here which will help you to write an effective and easy way of writing, say any document. Any document. So I generally take workshops on use of PowerPoint and Word. It is an advanced level where you can use Word and PowerPoint like a pro. Use it like a pro. You know that without typing, you can ask Word to whatever you say, it will type. Sir, how is it possible? Just go to something called dictate. I'll click on that, and it will take a couple of seconds. Yes. So no one words, whatever I would say, it will get clicked. I mean, it will get typed. Can you see here? It is getting typed here. Whatever I'm saying, it will get typed. It will get typed. OK, I'll repeat that activity. See, I get bored of reading a lot of papers, and I feel like, array, let me read and let Word type it for me. Why should I type? I mean, sometimes if we have that letharginess, right? We'll have some that kind of letharginess or lethargic behavior. So in that time, this option of word writing on its own, when you talk, so it will type it for you. OK. On the other way around, you can select the text. You can ask the word to speak. The word to speak. OK, I'll show that as well. See, this is a sentence I want the word to talk for me or speak for me. So I'll select the text. And I'll go to the speak. It will speak for me. It is as simple as that. OK. So all right. So going back to PowerPoint. So I must acknowledge my MTech guide, Professor Pallab Ghosh, who started or from whom I learned either PowerPoint or Word. He just asked, do you know how to use Word and PowerPoint? During our MTech time in IIT Kotak. His students, we said, we don't know, sir. He took us to a laboratory. He opened the system. He opened the Word and the PowerPoint. He showed each and everything. These are how you have to start. From there, I started learning, and today I'm here. And this is Professor Jayesh Ballare, who is my PhD guide. I learned a lot of things while working with him. And these two are Professor Akshay Modi and Dr. Surendra Verma. They are my colleagues in the lab. They are the reasons for me to have technical skills in the area that I worked on. And of course, I must thank all my colleagues like Prafulla Madam, Netravati Madam, Venkatesh, Dr. Venkatesh, and Dr. Abhishek. Of course, I must thank Dr. Abhishek for giving us this opportunity and giving this forum to share our knowledge. And thank you. Please use renewable energy resources to save the future of future generations. Thank you. Abhishek, over to you.
Yeah, thanks, Sainath. So before we go ahead and start taking questions, so all your questions you can post it on the chat. We'll be happy to answer, but we have some more questions for you in the poll. So let's go ahead and listen to that. So yes, here you go, the polls. Okay, so again, go to OOClap. You already know what to do. So most of you are still stuck there, 285 of you. So if not, just go to ooclap.com and use the code BMS30May. So let me also open that so that I can parallelly do with you guys. Mine is open, but if you want, you can go ahead and refresh and it will pop up the same thing. So what is the next question I have for you guys is this. So can you name any reference manager you know? The one which already many of us have learned over this session. All of you have started voting. I'll show the answers in a while. So what format shall I do? This way? No, this way? No, this way. Let's have word cloud like this. It's very beautifully coming. Paper pile,
No, we can't
everyone
see.
knows.
Abhishek, we can't see what.
I can see. Can others confirm?
I can't see this one, the result of the audience.
You have to see in the screen of mine.
That's what.
Okay. Venkatesh, Balchandra, can you confirm if you are able to see? I'll share again. How about now?
Yes, now we can.
Okay, cool. People are playing around. Okay. So we have Mendeley, paper pile. Okay, spelling of Mendeley in different version, but many of you know Mendeley. That's what I get to know. EndNote, I see a couple of them. Clarivate is not reference manager, by the way. Grammarly is not reference manager directly. Zotero, yes. Okay, good list we have. So I saw Abhishek. Okay, did I type that or somebody else typed? I know I am reference manager. I manage a lot of things, but I'm not reference manager directly. Okay, let's go to the next question. Please see on the screen. 1, 2, 3 on your screen. So have you published in any predatory journals? Check the answers very carefully. Yes, unknowingly, no, I have not. Yes, knowingly, I've published in predatory journal. I have not published at all. So in my very early days of my career, I have published unknowingly. So I would answer. So there are a couple of them knowingly they're published. I don't know why, but they have published knowing that it's a predatory journal. There are a couple of them, but most of you are saying that you haven't published, which is really good. And a few of them are telling that unknowingly they are published, like me. Okay, good. So 95 of you have answered. Where are you? Rest of you, please do answer. So once you select the option, you have to click on OK. You can have to click on submit. If not, we won't be able to see your results, what you have voted for. Okay. So you have to go to OOClap. Somebody is asking how to do that. So go to OOClap. You can see this on the top right on my screen. Go to ooclap.com and use the code BMS30May. That's the code which you have to use. I see already 300 plus people already there. You're answering. Okay, let's go to the 8th question of the day, which is which software do you use for writing papers and making effective PPTs? Which software do you use? You can give multiple answers because there are multiple questions also. There are a couple of them, so you can give. So I am also answering what others have answered. Let's see. Okay, it's flooding. Good. So MS Office, MS Word, LaTeX, PowerPoint and Word, Overleaf. Wow. Okay. Zotero, MATLAB for writing papers. Not the technology, but to write papers. Prezi. Okay, that's nice. Microsoft Words, Microsoft Office, Library Office, MATLAB. Why MATLAB? I don't know. Okay. Maybe you'll write something on MATLAB and publish, and that will come as a document, I believe. Google Slides, Google Doc, perfect. Even I do use that. Okay, nice, nice. 150 of you have answered. So I'll go to the next set of questions, the last but one. What is the one thing that you learned by attending this session? So you can answer that. We'll see that answer very soon. So let's see what people are answering. Please answer fast. We have only 10 answers. We need more. All 150 of you or 300 of them, 400 who are present, please do answer. And once you answer, click on submit. If you have multiple answers, you can give and click on submit for each one of them. So let me see the word cloud, what people have learned. Journals, okay. Oh, it's not stopping. I can't even read what you guys. Predatory, publications, quartiles, Google. Oh, wow, okay. Publication quartiles, Adobe, MS Office, MS PPT, searching journals, think, check, submit. Paper pile, paper pile, okay. Good research concepts, dictation in Word. Okay, this will keep on growing. I guess it will go out of my screen. So I'll go to the last question for the day. So on your screen, what do you want to answer? Already 150 people have answered. Okay, we'll go to the next question. Sort them according to your choice of publication based on indexing. How do you want to sort? You have to use that arrow marks and then sort it out. Use the arrow marks. We will let you know the sequence on how you should submit, how you should do it by end of the, this poll. First, only 18 of you have answered, 21. Once you answer, you have to click on submit button. If not, we won't be able to see what you have answered. 50 of you have answered. Rest of you, please do answer as soon as possible. $90 of you have answered. This is not the correct one. This is just most frequent combination, but we will see the correct one maybe once we have 150, at least 150 of you submit. So majority of you say Web of Science Q1 to Q4, Scopus Q1 to Q4, any Web of Science journal, any Scopus journal, any non-predatory journal. So that's what you're thinking, but this may not be the correct answer. So audience poll can go wrong, right? You have seen that in KBC. So just answer what you feel is correct. We will discuss what's the correct answer soon. Okay, another 20 more. I'll close this poll and I'll show you the answers. What is that is expected in the research world. And then we'll take some question and answers and close for the day. Fast, fast. Okay, please submit the button. Meanwhile, we'll discuss what is the right answer. So as a researcher, you should aim for Web of Science journals Q1 to Q4. First, you should aim for Q1, then Q2, Q3, Q4. But many a times, everything, see the preamble which we told yesterday, first opening remarks is that all the sessions, what we are doing for 5 days, assuming that you have very good quality work, based on that, where to publish is what we discussed today. So rider preamble or some conditions applies that you already have some very good work which you have written into a paper, and you're doing some formatting like yesterday, and today you're deciding where you want to publish. So having said that, you should always target for Web of Science Q1 to Q4. Then any Web of Science non Q1 to Q4 is also fine. Most of the Q1 to Q4 in Scopus overlaps with Web of Science. So if you have seen the tool which Sainath showed, we had Web of Science almost 12,000, 13,000 very good journals, and then 25,000 in Web of Science, Q1 to Q4 around 12,000 plus. Whereas Scopus, we had 45,000 journals, which is Q1 to Q4 and beyond. So first, you always strive for Web of Science journal Q1 to Q4, and then any Web of Science journal. Then go for Scopus Q1 to Q4, which is already covered in the above two, that is Web of Science Q1 to Q4 and any Web of Science journal. And then you'll go for any Scopus index journal, and finally any non-predatory journal. So getting non-predatory journal not listed in Web of Science and Scopus is too tough. So have that in mind. Let's see, this is what is the correct answer. You can't vote anymore. Web of Science Q1 to Q4, any Web of Science journal, Scopus Q1 to Q4, any Scopus index journal, any non-predatory journal. Please remember, as I said, Scopus Q1 to Q4 is already covered in Web of Science Q1 to Q4 and any Web of Science journal. Mostly it would be covered. Almost, I would say 50% of the other 50% may come in any Scopus index journal. So we are done with polls. Let's go ahead and stop this. Let me exit and stop. You were amazing audience. Let me go and see what are the questions you guys have. Any questions, please post it on the chat. We'll take another maybe 10-15 minutes before we close today's session. So you have any questions? I saw some questions in the chat, but I really lost it because many of you posted a lot of things. Yeah, so somebody is asking what is the difference between paid and unpaid journal. So that will be covered, I guess, in one of the sessions tomorrow or day after. But main important thing is paid journals are all, I mean, good journals like which are indexed in Web of Science, they also charge you. They charge you for article processing fee, which will give you an option for making your article open access, which means that anyone can download your paper and read it. So journals survive, right? They should survive. Somebody should pay, either as an institute. So BMSCE, we pay some money to the publishers to get access to journals, whatever researcher, faculty, students need. Similarly, either as an author should pay or somebody who will download will pay. So author paying, we call it as article processing fee, where it becomes completely open access. Whereas if it is a predatory journal, they'll charge a very nominal fee. Nominal is like 5,000, 10,000, 3,000, and they'll publish in a couple of days. But article processing fee is very high. It is almost like $3,000, $2,000, $1,500, euros, and so on and so forth. We have a session on that. You will get more answer on that. So unpaid, paid and unpaid, I wouldn't use. I'll use as predatory, non-predatory, or good genuine journals. Predatory journals, they charge very less money. You've seen the quality of predatory journal, what it is. So somebody is asking, so assessing the quality of work for Q1 to Q4. I'm not sure what's the question Devraj sir is asking. Okay. Sainath, the question to you is, all are fast track journals predatory?
Okay, so fast track journals, in the sense, I assume that it is 2 or 3 days. Within 2 or 3 days of submission, it will be accepted. Yes, such kind of journals are always predatory in nature, because for any the review process to happen, it takes at least 1 week. See, once the paper is submitted to a journal, first it goes to the editorial office where they check non-technical things, and then it goes to the editor. An editor will check for suitability of the contents in that journal, whether it falls in the scope of that journal or not. Then he will look for the relevant reviewers. Then he will send an email to reviewers, and reviewers have to accept. They'll, yes, they review or they don't review. After that, they're going to send the paper to that particular reviewers, and they'll be given anyway between 15 days to 1 month for the review process to assess the quality of the work and additional knowledge that going to be added to the existing field. So all this process will take at least minimum 1 month. So anything that takes within, say, 5 days, 6 days, 7 days, they're all predatory journals to the best of my knowledge. Yes, they are predatory in nature. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
Abhi.
So fast track, there are few journals which will take maybe a month or so because they give reviewer very strong deadline saying you have to do it within 1 month and then we have to announce the results. There are few journals which give at least I would say ideally minimum 1 month they take or 1 month or 6 weeks is what they take. So coming to Devraj sir questions, assessing the quality of work for Q1 to Q4. So how do you assess them? Which journal you have to go? So I would say it's not uh, first thing we always need to target for Q1, but it all depends on your quality of work. If it is too groundbreaking and something you're making a dent on the earth by doing your research, that will always qualify for Q1. But Q4 is not bad, but comparatively number of people who cite your paper will become more if you publish in Q1. You will become more famous in your field. That's the whole point of publishing in very good journal. But yeah, it's always debatable. It depends on your work, but quality of work, how will you assess? Again, it's a quality, it's not quantity. Quantity you can tell in numbers, quality you cannot talk in numbers, right? So that's something which you have to have. So whether all papers published in IEEE Explore are Scopus indexed, I would like to take this question. I work with IEEE. I approve many conferences being part of IEEE committee in Bangalore section. What will happen is once it is published in Explore, that is further scrutinized by Scopus. So all the papers which IEEE Explore it is published, they'll push it to Scopus, and Scopus again takes the final decision whether it has to be indexed or not. So there are few journals, like there may be 100 journals from a conference A which goes to IEEE Explore. From there further to Scopus. So IEEE Explore 100 journals. IEEE may reject 5 or IEEE may reject few conference papers. And in that, say if it is 80 of them, out of 80, Scopus index may be all 80 if it is really good, or they may remove the indexing for few of them and they publish say around 75, depends on the quality. So everything quality is a question. If your quality is good, you need not worry, automatically it gets indexed in Scopus and everywhere. So in conference, they say your article will be published in Scopus Index Journal. Can you highlight a little bit on that? Sainath, you want to take or should I answer?
Sorry, I missed it. What was it?
So Uma, one of our participant is asking, in some conference, they say your article will be published in Scopus Index Journal. So should we trust them or should we go ahead and do?
No, always know which journal they're going to publish. Then cross-check in this SJR website if it is really Scopus Index journals. Many conference hosts, they send information. I mean, they request some of the journals to accept their conference proceedings. Sometimes they will not accept. Then they'll have to go for predatory journals. It has happened to me only. In one of the conferences, they promised that it is going to be published in Scopus Index journals, which didn't happen. But I got a message from a predatory journal saying that we have got information from so-and-so conference. So this is the title of your paper. Please send the paper within 48 hours. It will be published in next 48 hours. Anything that is 48 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours, it is predatory in nature. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so you have answered that. I wouldn't elaborate anything much than that. So somebody's asking, sir, even I have faced the problem of predatory journal, but when I publish, it's in UGC care, but it's not what to do then. So yeah, that happens. So don't go for those kind of journals. Even I've seen recently a few of the faculties who approached me. When they published, it was indexed. Later, it was kicked out of Scopus or Web of Science. So UGC Care List also initially they had list of journals which are good, bad, ugly. But and they've also given like Bell's list, what Sainath was telling, or some of the predatory clone journals. For example, if you have say Apple is a product APPLE, but somebody will come with one more P, APPLE. So that's a predatory, right? Predatory product. It's not a genuine product. Similarly, you can find out by seeing that using the tools which Sainath mentioned. But do not go to such journals. So see the history of journal. If they are very much in Scopus, they'll give you the coverage in Scopus website or Web of Science. See this coverage and then go ahead and publish. Don't publish in such journals where it is recently have the coverage and you see the potential, you see the articles what people have published, and based on that you can decide. Can article be published in conference, later published in journal is considered as conference paper or journal? Okay. So There are two kinds of things. One is conference paper where you present in a conference, which goes to a journal, right? For example, proceedings, they call it as lecture notes in Springer or proceedings in somewhere else. So these kinds you just publish as is, it goes to the journal. Journal in the sense it's a proceedings or lecture notes, which many of them call as journals. So what Scopus and Web of Science has done is whenever you create a profile, which we will learn day after tomorrow, you will understand that it would have listed it as conference paper or journal paper or article, they call it as. So it would clearly list anything which comes from conference as conference paper. There is another kind where your article, whatever you're publishing or you're presenting in the conference, they'll ask you to resubmit the papers in further to another journal where they have some tie-up with the conference, which is very rare and it will be very prestigious. So once you have the tie-up, they would say that you have to repeat a lot of things. There shouldn't be no overlap. Almost you can carry overlap up to 30% from your previous paper, and 70% novelty you should bring, or 60% novelty. Those kind of things goes directly to journal once the peer review happens. So if you're going to that channel, peer review will happen. Again, it will take some 3-4 months for you to publish in that journal. So these two kinds. So the second one, what example I gave, that's definitely a journal paper because you haven't, same paper you haven't published, but there is an improvisation. There is a lot of improvement which you have done 60-70%. That is a journal. Whereas the first one is the one which is directly goes with no changes, nothing. That's not, that's exactly what it is. Conference paper, which is published in proceedings or something like that. Okay, next question we have is whether all papers, okay, that have taken, how long it takes to publish the journal in Web of Science or paid journal? I mean, basic start of work to publish. Sainath, how long will it take to publish in the journal?
So to the best of my knowledge, what I've seen, it takes at least 1 month. Even in I've seen certain Q1 journals, if the work is really good and if you have written in a manner, it falls in the what I call standards of that journal, work is good, format is good, within a month it gets published. And after all these things, the fate is good. I'll always believe in the fate because these editors will send an email to the reviewers and those reviewers should accept to review your article. And some of them would be quite busy. They may not reply also for say 15 days or 1 week. So they have to wait. So after that, if they don't respond, they have to send it to another set of review people, another set of people for review. So they should accept. So all these things put together, if the luck is good, within a month it can be published. Yes.
Okay. When we use Journal Finder, the duration of first decision varies when we check in journal homepage. Which one we should consider? This is a very good question. So if it is a standard publisher like Springer, Wheeler, Taylor and Francis, all recognized and very reputed publishers, they would have done analysis every year saying how much time did I take to give the first decision. So you can trust them. That's not at all wrong. But this Journal Finder may give different. So you can, both of them would be similar, or if there is a really a deviation, I would suggest go for a journal finder, which gives you the best answer, saying when is the first decision which they'll give. So which software is good for formatting references that we have discussed, inland PaperPile, which is web-based. Somebody asked PaperPile, can I use it on my system? The answer is no. It is definitely for web-based like Chrome and similar. It doesn't work on the on your system. That's a whole USP of PaperPile. And which software is good? You have Mendeley, you have EndNote, you have multiple things, Zotero, and a lot of things. Mendeley is majority people use because it's from it's free and it's very powerful. It's very good. Why open access journals don't have impact factor in elsewhere? That's not true. Open access journals do have impact factor in elsewhere. It depends when the journal is indexed in Web of Science as well as in Scopus. And based on that, there'll be some impact factor they'll calculate based on citation. And then slowly it will start acquiring impact factor and then it will come to JCR. But it's not necessary that open access journal don't have impact factor. In fact, they'll have more impact factor because it's open access. Anybody can download my paper and cite it. You will get more citation. You'll become more famous. How best to go for published research papers in the subject areas of agriculture, economics? It's the same thing what we have discussed for other journals for engineering, the same thing applicable for any of the field of engineering. So is it good idea to publish in conference? So Sainath, you want to take or you want me to answer?
Yeah, so there are certain things when we go for conferences. Say I'm new to the research field and have done some amount of work wherein I want to get connected with other people, get network with other people who are working in the similar area. And remember, the work is not it is a full paper work. Some small amount of work is done. In that time, you can go to a conference and get to know what other people in the similar area are working, and you'll get network with them. So you can have a collaboration with them. So during such time, conferences are better. Okay. So when you have complete work ready and you know where to publish, how to publish, then directly go for publication. You not to go for conferences. But there are sometime in IITs and NITs, they'll give you like 2 lakhs, up to 2 lakhs, they'll give you to go to abroad and publish, I mean, go for a conference. So that time you can, part of the work, you can say, go to that conference and either present it or make a poster out of it and you can present it there. So always there has to be a trade-off between how much amount of work you have, how much network you have, and whether it is really worth going to that conference. If you have a lot of network already, it is not required, I feel. And no, I want to know some more information in that field, what others are doing, then go there and you can go as a delegate, not as a someone who's presenting it. If you want to present, you can present the work already that has been done by you, means which is already published. Okay, so there are certain conferences which takes this kind of work also, and there are conferences which takes new, means which is not published anywhere else. In that case, have some amount of small amount of work and go there for for attending the workshop. Yes, Abhishek.
True, whatever you said is true. So essence of a conference is more for networking rather than publishing. That's what I believe, because if you want to see an expert in the field and fellow peers who are working in the same field, that's why you should go to a conference. But unfortunately, the conferences which are organized nowadays by many of the organizers, it's that essence is gone and they're only concentrating on publishing. But conferences should be a portal or some platform for everyone to discuss their thoughts and then debate and so on. But that's been now not there. But it's no harm in publishing if you are in early career or you are someone who wants to publish in very early stages, like your PG students, your UG students. That's the best platform. PhD student also, maybe one or two papers there and rest in the journals. Okay, the next one is very interesting question. When I published in the paper, it was in Q1, but after a few days, it is shifted to Q4. Why is that? So the whole reason is that's a totally a different workshop. We can talk about how the JCR works, how SJR works, how is the indexing done, how is Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 done. So many of the journals, there are a lot of things which even the Clarivate analytics like company can't find at that point of time. Later, when they're doing analysis, they'll immediately find out and they push that to different level of quartile. So Q1 at that point. So Q1, how do they measure? I guess it's there in the next tomorrow's session. But Q1, when do we actually try to see whether the journal is Q1 is? That is based on last 2 years of the performance of the journal in terms of citations impact factor. So recently there may be less citation, that's why it had been moved to Q4, or there is some kind of self citations more. I'll give you an example. Liquid Crystals is very good journal, and last year it was in Q2 or something like that, but next year it was out of Web of Science. It was completely kicked out because there was a lot of self citations of the same journals it was cited. Then later they rectified. Now it's back to the game, and now it is again indexed in Web of Science. So all these things happens. So they have very stringent strategy. They have various strategies to find out and then put them in the indexing or not. Can you list computer science Scopus journals not in Q1 to Q4, Q3, Q4? Yes, please go to Scopus website. In that, instead of title, what Sainath field, there is something known as category. In that, you go give what category you want, and you'll get list of journals. Remove all Q1 to Q4. You should be able to download it. How to reduce plagiarism manually? Sainath, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, so there are certain softwares, freely available softwares. I think Quillbot, I think. So you can Google it, Quillbot. So wherein you can the copy paste the content whatever you written there, and it will check the plagiarism. There are many plagiarism softwares freely available online. So you can copy paste your material there, and it will give you the percentage of say plagiarism. So they will work only for some amount of text, say 500 words or 5000 words. But there are certain standard softwares such as Turnitin. So which is many of the institutions which are say very good, they will have this subscription with them. And in that you can upload your entire document, and it will give you the percentage of plagiarism with where and all those plagiarism has come. Say entire text is taken from one particular paper. So with that paper details it appears. So this particular the set of words or the paragraph has been taken from so and so paper. It will give you with details. So with that, you can download that report and paraphrase your words, sentences, and again resubmit it and check for your plagiarism. So my suggestion is that always learn English well, and read the papers, know the language, how they are using, and do not repeat same sentence structures. Because English, I would call it as a funny language. You can write a same sentence in a 5 different ways. Yes, I'm right. In a 5 different ways, the same sentence can be written. So there are a lot of what I call sentence structures. So as a result, you learn that English first and then start writing your paper. Or while writing only, you learn what some standard YouTube channels where you can improvise your English. So like that, you can reduce your plagiarism. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so there is connected lot of people asking the same question. Is there any free software for plagiarism removal or plagiarism checking? So unfortunately, there are few free of them, but that has lot of restrictions in terms of number of pages you can check, number of words you can check. But one which is very famous and very well known in multiple universities all over world is Turnitin, as already Sainath mentioned. That's very powerful. Even more powerful than that is Authenticate or cross check from the company. So that's also powerful, where even sometimes it will also crawl through images which you have submitted to check where you have actually taken it and then written in your paper. And free one, there is just contact your university wherever you are. Say, for example, we are BMS College of Engineering. We are affiliated to Vishweshwara Technological University, Belgaum. If I contact the librarian, then he'll give me access to something known as Urkund. URKUND. That's again a software free for all the academicians to use, but your university should have access, not a college cannot have access. So contact your university librarian or someone in the university R&D head director, someone. They may give you the access of Urkund. So go to Urkund website, check if your university is listed, and try to contact someone in the university who can give you access to such plagiarism software. I mean, check software. So, okay, once we go to Scopus website and search for a journal, we don't find links for some of the journals. While searching it from Google, we end up in two URLs. How to know which one is predatory? Yeah, this is really good. I was giving the example of Apple, right? Having 3 P's or 1 L, double L or double E or something like that, they'll change the name of the journal. Today, I was actually checking one journal, Gradia, something like that. It is actually Scopus Index Journal, but it is more of agriculture and arts and humanities. But there is another one, Gradia Review Journal, which is exactly same name. If you Google, you'll find the predatory journal first than the actual journal. So be very careful. That's why UGC is doing a lot of work. Savitribai Phule University in India is doing a lot of work to identify such kind of journals. Go to UGC Care website and find out predatory journals. It's a list of journals which has similar name like the best journals. Second one, Bell's list, which is not updated from a couple of years, but it has the exhaustive list of journals which is same. So go to Scopus, find the journal, and then use the hyperlink which Scopus has given. Go to Web of Science, use the hyperlink which Web of Science has given. That way you can easily avoid your predatory journals. Okay. So AICT showed Sindhu for plagiarism checking is comparable with Turnitin. Not really. Turnitin is super powerful. That's why it's paid and very high cost. But more details about Shodh Suddhi, Shodh Sindhu, and so on and so forth, Dr. Venkatesh will be covering on the last day. Please do attend on 2nd of June. You will get to know more about it. What is your opinion on Drillbit, which VGO has started? No opinions, nothing about it. It's a software by Bangalore-based startup. I did this. I used the same article. I pushed it to Drillbit as well as I pushed it to Turnitin. Turnitin gave me 37% of plagiarism or similarity, whereas Drillbit gave me almost around 15 or 17% like that. So see the difference. So Drillbit is still learning. It takes time, but that's what the university have recommended. So we have to use that. So yeah, okay. So this is what we had, and before we go, thanks a lot, everyone. Thanks to Dr. Sainath, who actually took over a lot of efforts to make this wonderful presentation and also discuss very important points which many of us were struggling to understand. So the second day, again, one more success from our team. Thanks to our team, and thanks to Dr. Sainath for being with us and sharing your thoughts. Very well done, and thanks to audience also who have been patiently waiting and sitting with us for 2 hours. So how we have planned all these sessions is we'll have polls, we'll have sessions like this in between, and of course we'll give a lot of time for your questions, because questions are something which people won't give time. So all my presenters, all my experts, what we have asked, we have told them don't take more than 1 hour 15 minutes. Rest 45 minutes we want to judiciously use to answer all your questions, because it's not easy for to find an answer for all the questions. So we are given enough time to interact with you guys. Thank you all, and I'll stop recording. Sainath, you have something to say before I stop recording?
Yeah, I forgot to acknowledge the help of Dr. Balachandra K. So I have ordered him. Apologies for the same. So this is our team now. Dr. Abhishek Appaji, Dr. Venkatesh, Professor Netravati, Dr. Prafulla, and Dr. Balachandra. So we are doing this workshop, and we are doing in a what I call for helping scientific community, scientific people. So we should do research, great research, better research, best research, so that our India will grow, our economy will grow. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Abhi. That's all from my side.
Thank you. Thank you all. I'll stop the recording. And if you still have questions, please post it. We will be happy to take it for some more